Sitting here waiting with my Diet Pepsi. Kathy Casey is sitting here waiting with my Diet Pepsi. Much love from Ontario, Canada. Ontario?
Ontario.
Ontario.
You always have the funniest pronunciations.
I have my Dr. Pepper there, Kathy. But to each his own. Jamie has actually tried to get us Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper Zero, Coke Zero, everything zero. And I've always found my way to cheat and come right back to who I've been very loyal and faithful to, a true and blue, through and through, since I was a very young man, Dr. Pepper. And hi, y'all. I love Diet Coke. Well, I lost it. Well, Darlene Stevenson likes Diet Coke, Jamie. Jamie can drink anything, really. Jamie doesn't really
That
care.
sounds terrible, actually.
No, Jamie can
Jamie will
drink
drink
anything.
anything.
Jamie will drink anything. But this is funny. And first of all, so hey folks, Lester and Jamie here. We're blessed to be coming to you on this Sunday afternoon. I almost said this hot and steamy, but every time I say something about the weather, I feel like an old man because only old people constantly talk about the weather.
It's me. I'm old people.
I feel old people now too. Try a Dr. Pepper float. Oh no, we have had plenty of those. As a matter of fact, Whataburger, which is I guess it's local. Are they nationwide? Whataburgers? They have those
They're
up,
south. I know Texas. They might be south.
So Whataburger doesn't. They do a Dr. Pepper shake, and if y'all have not gone in there and had a Dr. Pepper shake, you don't know what you're missing. But Jamie and I are blessed to be here with you. Thank you all for letting us come to you and taking time to spend with us. We have a lot going on, guys. There's a lot going on. Most things none of you know about yet. Now, when I say none of you, what I mean is we have a lot of channels all come together as one with this new app that we have been figuring out, where we can put all of our platforms as far as I'm a Survivor Facebook, I'm a Survivor YouTube, uh, from Suits to Boots YouTube, Longhorn Lester's YouTube, and we bring them all into one, which is really awesome. So we're able to see all of your comments over here from all of those platforms together.
Which makes them fly by roughly at 9 million miles an hour.
Yeah, we can barely catch anything. What I can do is reach over with my mouse and click one, and it will pause it, and then I can display it for you all. But I miss more than I catch. I miss the good ones, and they fly right by. And so it's very rare that we can actually catch and hold on to a comment. But we have so much going on that we really can't talk about because I like to talk about things once you've all had a chance to see it. I don't know exactly how you feel when you do your Timeout Tuesdays, but if you play something on YouTube and then you talk about it before Facebook has had a chance to see it, it's not really fair. You kind of like give away a lot of your content. You give away a lot of the so it's hard to talk about some things unless both channels, or in this case, all four channels, have had a chance to see it. So in saying so, some of the biggest drama that has gone on around here, we know because we've lived it. And when I say lived it, we were up close and personal into the thick and thin, if that's even an expression that y'all know. It was rough around here. We have some video that will bring you, but unfortunately, I can't talk about it. That makes it even harder, Jamie.
That's where it's actually. See,
I bet y'all wish I would just shut up already.
So I feel a little bit different than you. So on my Timeout Tuesday, if one channel hasn't seen it yet, or if it's coming up, I feel like that if it's published somewhere, they can at least go find it. But you're way naughtier than me. You give just a little glimpse, and you're like, yeah, but not yet. Too soon. Too soon. See, I'm more kind and thoughtful in the fact of but you can go find it here. So, yeah, Lester just gave you a little prelude to what's coming this week. But yesterday we started at 5 a.m. and didn't stop until 11:30 last night.
It was our longest day ever, and I don't like days like that because I literally at some point in the day, I says, Jamie, I really do think that I'm suffering through what they call heat exhaustion. I really did feel physically beat down because of everything that had happened and went on yesterday. And so it was a rough day, but we got some great video and everything. Jamie and I have both learned to having that camera available in one of our hands, sometimes both of our hands, has just that's what we've learned to do, because in fact that's how I make a living. And Jamie has just learned that there needs to be a camera available, which is funny. Think about how many times in the old days amazing moments were lost because you didn't have your gosh darn camera out in time.
We don't fight often, but I can tell you that I would be the one to like jump in and try to like rectify the situation, save something from being crushed or hurt or happening. And he would be like, please, you recorded that, right? And I'm like, no, I didn't record it. I was trying to save the goats from this, or I was trying to top text from this, or I was trying to save you from flying off a horse. But no, he didn't care about any of that. He just wanted it recorded. I've gotten better. I'll record it, but dang it, I'm still going in.
So, we don't make viral videos anymore. No, we make plenty of viral videos, but we don't sell our content anymore. We keep our content for ourselves. So we've had to tell a lot of people, no, thank you. But in the old days, back when we used to make our living, or my living, off of selling viral videos to, different video. Anyway, Jamie would have the opportunity to capture the most amazing moments, and she would let them go. Here's an example. Here's an example of one that would have been the most best video of all time. Huck and Shirley as little bitty munchkins. At that point, I was living in the barn dominium, and Jamie had not moved down yet. So I'm in the barn dominium, and I'm sitting there with Huck and Shirley, little Huck and Shirley. And at that point, they were house goats. So I kept diapers on them a lot, and they were always jumping around. And one day after our bath, because I used to bathe with them. But one day after our bath, I'd come out and I didn't put their diapers on them, and Huck and Shirley are jumping around, and I'm on the couch laid back, and Jamie's got the video camera, and she's videoing the cute little goats jumping all over her boyfriend at that point, just her boyfriend. And if lo and behold, Mr. Huck doesn't jump up on my chest and he begins to pee all down my face and throat. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so Jamie, who's sitting there videoing it, sees it and stops her camera and tries to grab the goat. She grabs her camera so as the goat doesn't get it all over me. Anyway, so once I get Mr. Huck off and I'm running him to the door, and I drop him down outside and I let him go, I'm like, did you video that? She goes, no, I was trying to help you. And I'm like, help me? No, you. Oh, God.
So here we are, less than a year together, and he's like, never help me. It doesn't matter. Just keep recording.
Yeah, that's what I would tell her.
Clear. I will never help you again.
Well, you don't understand, though. Once you get a taste of a viral video.
I thought you were going to say once you get a taste of goat pee. Oh, my God. Keep talking. That's what you were just talking about.
No, Jamie did not do the right thing. Jamie, they're all saying you did the right thing. No, she did not do the right thing.
I did do the right thing.
Back in those days, so I was obviously teaching school. I was also doing my after-school coaching, which is great, but I was just slowly getting into the whole creating videos. And we didn't have a page for I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, but what I would do is make videos and then I would sell them. So if you had a quality video that was of the viral content type stuff, I have a list of contacts who I would reach out to and send them samples. I would send them samples of my material, and then they would buy them. Hope you don't ever catch on fire. You better work with two hands. You better video with one
a long way, okay?
And grab the extinguisher with the other.
Oh, no. I'm going to video it and just be like, is there anything else you need me to do? Like, just look at him burning over there. My gosh.
Remind me to stop, drop, and roll, but keep videoing.
Does that hurt? You should probably roll over a little bit. Oh, did you want me to get the hose? I'm sorry. You better call Jake because I'm videoing.
Yeah. That's funny. You know, it's kind of a catch-22, but we stopped doing working with viral video folks because two reasons. Half of them would never give us credit. And I hated that when we would have an amazing video, we would sell it to them, but they would take our name off and just stick their watermark. And I'm like, at some point, I'm like, you know what? Shouldn't we get credit for that? I mean, yeah, we got a piece of, a chunk of change for the video, but I'd rather have my name out there so y'all could see where the videos are coming from.
Mhm.
You're making a funny face.
I'm reading.
Jamie
Sorry.
hates when I talk about money. She hates when I talk about money.
Well,
But
because when people think that you sold a video, they don't realize that you sold it for $11.
oh no, it wasn't
Like,
a lot of money.
It's not like
Sometimes, well, mostly it's in euros because almost all of the video, the news flares, the story fools, the dodo, all these folks work out of the UK. They all work out of the UK, and they pay you in euros. And so I never knew what a euro was. So I'd get like 50 euros. I'd be like, yeah, 50 euros. I'm thinking that's great. And sometimes it breaks down to where a euro could be kind of deceiving. You're not real sure exactly what a euro is. So you would get paid in euros a lot. And luckily PayPal would they would do the transfer stuff, but it didn't matter. It wasn't about money. I was working, but it was about getting your name out there, Jamie. This is true. This is very true. It was about getting your name out there, getting your name out there, getting your brand out there. And so Tex, when he popped his red ball, Huck and Shirley on my Jeep, Run Maggie Run. I mean, there's a ton of them that I just can't think of all the videos. Ringo's Harem. Giving the puppy CPR. Man, there's a lot of videos.
Your original coming home video.
Well, yeah, the coming home video. So normally the way that works is if you have a video worthy content and you can sell it, then different people will buy it to use on their platforms. And so they're getting money, but you're not, because they've already given you $50, $60, $100, depending on the value of the video. And it would be nice, like when the dodo would buy a video, they would always put our name on there with it. And that's how we got a lot of growth to our page, is from the dodo taking a video like the homecoming with Harvey, sticking our name on it, and then putting it to their platform with their millions of people that follow. And so, but once, a lot of companies don't do that. And so I don't even know where this is coming from. Oh no, that was because you stopped videoing stuff.
I did. And so I have progressively learned. In fact, yesterday we were talking to a couple, and they asked, like, so like how do you handle always having a camera in your hand? Because I actually talked a little bit about, before Lester, my phone was full of pictures. I love to take pictures. So I had thousands and thousands of pictures. Yet I had so few videos that I actually owned 2 video clips of Xander growing up his whole life, because I just didn't video.
Yeah.
It wasn't my family's thing. It wasn't our thing. I just took pictures. I was huge on photographs. So when we met and he videos everything, literally everything, it was intimidating because there's always a camera out. And I don't know if you know this, but when you see yourself in video, it's even more critical than when you see yourself in a picture, because you can hear yourself talk, and the things that you've said in reaction and the time that, all of it anyway, requires a lot of overthinking. So at first, I very much
you can't be bashful and shy, and you can't have a low self-esteem, because the social media will rip you to shreds. Can I say one example of the video, the short? So you all, I think that you've all seen this, because 21 million people have seen a video that I recorded of Jamie when she was wearing her little sunflower dress out by the pasture. She was making a video, and the ostriches like to come by and take little bites of her sunflowers. And so Wanda, who I call my pecker, she walked by and took a bite of Jamie's sunflower, right on the sunflower that's right there on her butt cheek, and ended up pulling her dress up a little bit. I thought it was hilarious, and I had captured a moment. That's viral video worthy. Of course, you don't sell it, because now we want those for ourselves. So I put it to my Longhorn Lester's YouTube as a short, and it's got 21 million views on it. But that's not the point. The point is, if you have a low self-esteem, you have to be very careful of reading comments because they can affect you. We've all gotten ourselves affected by things people are saying. I think I'm worse than anybody as far as letting things that you say affect me. And man, I should be past that by now, Jamie. I should be past that. Sometimes I can't get past it. But on that particular video, there's about, out of those 21 million, there's probably 20 million men that are like saying, oh, hell yeah, bring it on. I wish I was that ostrich. She has the right idea, like a bunch of pervs. And then there's about a million mean people who are trying to find mean things to say. A lot of peepats who were mad at me for videoing that. A lot of peepats who thought Jamie should wear more clothes when she's out working with the animals. And there's just so many people. But
there's a whole bunch of, how disgusting I am. I mean, it's very critical. And we've always talked about this, about how it's so easy for people to like fire off a negative comment behind there. And it really is about them doing that to build themselves up. I get all of that. But here's the ones that bothered me the most. This sounds so stupid.
I've never heard this.
The ones that bothered me the most are like, this was set up. Clearly, this happens all the time.
Oh, yeah, like we have circus-trained animals. Okay, I want to give you a snack. Go over there and bite Jamie's dress and pull it up just far enough to where it doesn't show any of her girl parts, but enough to where it gives a little glimpse of the goodies.
And then she's not even videoing. She has a dark screen and she's just talking to a fence over there. I really was videoing the other ostriches in the other pasture, and that happened. But it's the judgment of my integrity saying that we set that up that really, like, I was like, really? Of all the things to sit there and critique about how we set it up that an ostrich is going to come lift up my dress, we practiced for months. I mean, and she just couldn't, pull it up as high or whatever. Like, that's the strangest thing in the world to say.
Yeah, well, we stopped working with other folks. A lot of people sometimes say this is a viral video worthy, this is viral video, but I'm like, they don't know that we have to give permission for folks to use our content. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people will steal your stuff. I'll say it differently. A lot of scammers will use your stuff trying to build their own content. There's a lady now. The lady who took Longhorn Lester's on Facebook. Do not think that lady's me, because she's not. She's the one that went out there and grabbed Longhorn Lester's on Facebook. And so now there's 300 or 3,000 people. 3,000 people that went and jumped on to follow her. And now there's 3,000 people who are saying, wait, this is not Longhorn Lester's. That's not Longhorn Lester's. And so you got to be careful, y'all. You got to be real careful, because she beat me to Longhorn Lester's on Facebook, and now I can't get it, and she owns it. And guess what? That's not me. And so she may use pictures that she copies from me, but isn't it crazy how Facebook can do a lot of stuff to police certain things? They just cannot stop a lot of scammers, which should be their number one target. Anyway, let's move on. I will say the last thing that I just had stuck up here was that it's because of those viral videos that many of you guys met us, and we were able to meet you. And now we've become this really neat social media family that we wouldn't trade for nothing. No. Even the peepats, you're welcome here. I just wish you'd think about what you say. Don't pinch me. I'm okay. Sheesh. Speak out on it. Go ahead, peepats.
I was scratching my own leg there.
We can take it.
Pulling off your leg hairs at all on that one.
Well, I am wearing my Cog Hill hat because Jason is a good guy. Jason is an amazing guy, and I cannot speak highly enough about him. I've never met Jason, but I hope to someday. And I sometimes switch out wearing his hat and Daniel's hat, but that's why I'm wearing my Cog Hill hat. Nothing going on with us. No dance offs happening. Ooh.
Our sunflowers from Cog Hill have bloomed.
Our sunflowers are doing great.
I've not made a video about that yet. They turned out really neat.
And what I didn't know is a sunflower actually follows the sun.
I didn't know it either.
Y'all know that, right? A sunflower comes up and does this. It moves with the sun. I had no idea that you could do that.
It's really awesome.
And then I also know that there was a lot of people, Jamie, who were mad at me, who were very upset with me for suggesting that you plant those sunflowers where we planted them. Yeah. And they were saying, that's dumb. It's never going to hold them up. And it holds them up just fine. That little planter holds them up just fine. And they look real pretty right there where we got them. So
I've been watching Mary Carl's pigeons lately, her homing pigeons, and I have pigeon envy.
Mary Carl has gotten to where she can put her hand out and them birds come to her. And they're homing pigeons. So I saw a video where they took them 6 miles away and let them go.
And they made their way home.
And they found their way back home. They actually beat them back home.
How amazing is that, though?
They had to do a couple of errands. They had to get stopped and get a couple of things on the way home.
Yeah, but
those
that's
pigeons
incredible.
found their way back to them. That's awesome. And so I would like to do that with longhorn Leicesters. And so take me a homing pigeon to longhorn Leicesters, let it go with a message to tell Jamie I'll be late for dinner or something. And if
you have him fly here to I'm a Survivor.
Fly back to I'm a Survivor, because Jamie usually works during the week, and let her know that, hey, Jamie, all's well. A little bit of heat exhaustion, but I should be fine. I'll probably be late for dinner.
Or when you get stuck in the mud next time again.
Or if I get stuck in the mud,
pigeons instead of
send the homing pigeon. Yeah.
Got it.
And that might be kind of mean to those pigeons. They fly
Somebody
back
says you need a homing goat. I think that Mr. Huck tried to be one at one point in time. He tried to run home that first time. That's gotten better, thank God.
Whoever just said y'all have 3.7K watching, sorry, but you're off by about 3, 4, 5,000. So what you don't see is what we see. It combines all of the platforms here together. So the number that you see probably is on one of the YouTubes or Facebook. Not that I'm bragging. I'm just saying let's not think about that in the comments. There's other things to think about, like the homing pigeon, the homing goat. Maybe getting to something like that would be fun, Jamie. It would be a really neat video, but I don't think they can really fly that far. 6 miles is neat, but there has to be a range. There has to be a time that a bird has to stop and take a break.
I just want to know, like, whoever figured that out. How did anyone ever like realize that it was instinctive of those types of birds that they would do that?
Yeah. And I don't know.
And what is in them that makes them do that doesn't allow other birds to do it? I don't know. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I guess if they all were like that, then we wouldn't have ended up with Aunt Lydia or Pablo, or the Dominguezes that visit here every once in a while.
That's true. You know, talking about feathered babies, I'll go ahead and say this because I've told you several times. And I don't know if y'all, I don't know how many of you guys watch the different channels. So I don't know if all of you know about longhorn Leicesters and the differences there in the noise. I'm going to say noise. Jamie doesn't like to call it noise, but there is a definite difference in the amount of noise at longhorn Leicesters compared to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. And a lot of that noise comes from these beautiful feathered babies that we all love so much. And it's very loud here. It is very, very loud here. I hope y'all know that whoever the person is being mean, you're about to get booted. Jamie's getting her phone out now. She's going to find your butt and you're out of here forever, like forever. So that is so dumb to waste your time and to waste your life jumping onto someone's live where there's thousands of great people who are trying to enjoy and be a part of something special, and you're going to come on there and ruin it. So now that person's done. Don't be that person. Would anyone ever be the person who gets kicked out of a party, who gets kicked out of a bar, to get kicked out of and then maybe if you spent your whole life getting kicked out, then maybe that's becoming your norm. It ain't the same if I don't get kicked out. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, kick me out. Lester, you're an idiot. You know, boot me. And so there, that person's been booted. So sorry about all of that, guys. And if you need to, just ignore the comments, guys. You don't have to read those. You don't have to read those comments. We could just take them off. We have so many options here not to have comments, but we like to engage with you. And so
somebody on here was asking if we saw the emu that was running around Houston.
Oh, no, I got better than that. So my friend Dwayne Lacey, Dwayne is a fellow school teacher, and he actually messaged me, texted me, and says, come get your emu. And I says, Dwayne, that ain't my emu, and I don't think you can just drive over there and pick up some emu because that's still stealing, y'all. That emu belongs to somebody. So there really is a chain of command when you see an animal on the loose like an emu that escaped from someone's backyard.
So do you remember?
But that was in the city, and Houston Police Department had to chase that thing. They didn't want to chase it. They were trying to drive it to safety, and they had to use their cars because they were scared to get out. And so HPD drove that thing. I don't know where they ended up with it. I'm sure that someone finally came out and wrangled it and put it into a trailer. But that is one thing that terrifies me about any of our big birds ever getting out, is the fact that you just can't say, and call them back like you can. Come on, littles. They're not going to come. They're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it.
And they're curious. And I actually think they have a sense of humor. So it's a fun game for them when they get out to be adventurous and to mess with you. And so that's not the first time that we've heard about an emu being loose, though, because we got a call right after we got Carl from the next county over saying that there was an emu loose in a community, and that it was comical because by the time the police would show up, the emu would be gone from the people that called. But it was like in people's garages and in people's pools.
They make their way around.
It was making its way through this neighborhood, and they couldn't find it. It was loose for like 5 days. And
wow.
They were like, there became this Facebook page of all these sightings of this emu. Anyway, we got called asking if it was ours first, and then asking,
no, not us,
how to catch it, and if it was going to be dangerous to whoever does catch it. And then if we wanted it. And I, at that point in time, called you and I was like, how do you feel about an emu? Because this is happening.
So, but I'll be honest. And once you go big, you can never go back. Once you go big, you really can never go back. And we've gone big with the ostrich. And so, yeah, I've watched Useless Farm. I've watched Cog Hill. I've seen a ton of emus, but they're of no interest to me. None. Even the Rhea that we've watched with our friend over in Dallas, Waco, that's nothing to me, because it's real cute to see I forgot the lady's name at Useless Farm, go out there with her Karen and put her hand up. But that's tiny. Those things are tiny. They're small. Now, they might be 6 foot, but once you go big with ostriches, then there's no way to ever shrink and go back down to size. So we're not going to do that. I'll tell you something that you may not know. The female emu is mean. Mm-hmm. The male emu is the very social and friendly one, mm-hmm. which is why Cog Hill has such success with Nugget, a little male emu who's the sweetest thing you've ever seen. Whereas Useless Farm has a female, or she has many, but her female Karen is the one that likes to kick her ass.
She's a witch.
all over Canada. I forgot what state they're from or what province they're from in Canada, but yeah, she gets her butt kicked a lot. But she is funny, and yeah, we have seen her. But no, once you go big, you really can't go small, because it's just not going to ever be the same. I'm pretty sure about that.
So you want to tell them how I messed up this morning? And the big disaster that I created.
Yeah, tell me. I'm trying to find.
Because this morning we woke up.
Jamie, I can't hear what you're saying. I'm trying to find a comment. That's why y'all go so fast. That's not it.
Anyway,
I love Jamie like a sister, laughing at all the Lesterisms that fly under the radar. Oh, you picked up a few of those. I know Jamie does, but a lot of folks. Carl is the sweetest thing ever right now, and that is true. Right now, he's very sweet. Oh my God, he's the sweetest guy ever, and luckily so, because I'm spending a lot of time in the pastures. I have to. Right now, I'm getting a lot of things built and worked on, and we're learning a feeding system, and so it's requiring a lot of in-pasture work, and it would not be able to be done if Carl was on one of those tears that he goes through. Okay, I'm going to shut up and listen to what you're saying. Go.
What I was going to say was I was going to confess to messing up this morning, because a lot of people woke up and there was no video, and it was my fault, and I just wanted to own it, because what happened was
Hold on. Sorry. That just wasn't any video. That was not just any video. If you don't know this, most of y'all will know this, but I save my best for Sunday morning Facebook. I do. I save my best for Sunday morning. I'm kissing. I'm showing love. I save my best for Sunday morning Facebook, because Sunday morning Facebook that's when we get the most engagement, the most audience. I guess you have time to watch. Facebook people don't watch the whole video. Most Facebook people don't watch the whole video. because you don't have time during the week. But on Sunday mornings, that's our biggest video. So I always save the best for Sunday mornings. And I start at 5 o'clock with the coffee drinkers. And then we go, and that video will play throughout the day. And then we never post a middle of the day Sunday video because we do a live. And so Sunday videos are big. I'm holding her hand, y'all. I'm not squeezing her. I'm holding her hand. Oh, but this morning, Jamie, all of the Sunday.
He was not holding my hand this morning, for the record.
All of the Sunday morning people wake up with no I'm a Survivor big video. And so it wasn't until 7:30 or 8 that I woke up. And the first thing that I do every morning after I kiss Jamie is I roll over and grab my phone and I see what the comments are saying because I want to see. I can't wait to see your reactions to the video. And as I roll over and all I see was last night's video. And I'm like, where's my morning video? Where's my morning video? Where's my morning video?
I'm like,
and so now she's awake because my kiss didn't work. So, but now she's awake because I'm screaming and hollering. And I finally realized that I had asked her last night to do the scheduling. So you have to schedule on Facebook. You have to schedule what time your videos play. And I asked Jamie to schedule for us because I was uploading the drama video from yesterday.
Oh, I was working. It all right, though.
She scheduled it for 5 p.m. And so for you folks who wake up and have coffee with I'm a Survivor on Facebook, I am so sorry because there was nothing for you until I woke up and I finally got it going at about 8:30. And then by 8:30, all the mean people are awake. That's when the mean people wake up. Probably hung over from the night before because all the mean people get on there and they wouldn't watch my video. They just wanted to comment mean stuff. And I'm like, dang it, Jamie, I missed all the early morning nice people. So I got to see no sweet comments. It finally took a few hours before the normal people who woke up from a normal, not good night's rest to start putting some sweet comments.
Yeah, so that was my fault. So I owe you all an apology because I was the reason that you did not get a 5 a.m. video and had to wait till 8:32 exactly.
I'm going to forgive you.
Central Time this morning.
Now, let's see how good you are. Can you tell me the gist of that particular video? Because it was a good one.
I can tell you that because I did watch it when I had coffee. And it was about some of our legends here at I'm a Survivor.
The legends of I'm a Survivor. It's called Legends Live Here. Actually, it's called I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. Legends Live Here. Do you know why I made that video? Because I'm not giving her, she's not the chokehold.
Because you responded to a bunch of negative Nancy's and Karens who said.
First of all, I did not bend the knee to any negative Nellies or Karens.
I didn't say you bent the knee. I said you responded.
What I did was told them how foolish of a comment you made.
Not me. Them.
No, not you, them. Oh. I wanted to show them. I wanted to make them put their feet in their mouths, as they say. Because there was a couple of people, I'm not going overboard. A couple of people were, and you see it all the time. I'm a Survivor's not the same anymore. I'm a Survivor's not the same anymore. And I'm so sick of hearing how I'm a Survivor's not the same because this is where the legends still live. And so I just made a video reminding folks of all of the legends that still live here. And so if you're one of those who sit there and say, I'm a Survivor's not the same, then you don't know who you're looking at. You're watching videos because you probably came along later during our journey, and you don't know the legends that you're seeing in our I'm a Survivor videos right now. So I did a quick little reminder of who's who and all of the sweet 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock people who wake up, pour their coffee, sit down with Lester to watch a video, and there was nothing, Jamie. It's okay though. Mm-hmm. So guys, that video is still playing and it will play on YouTube later in the week.
Sorry it was late.
It's okay, baby. I still love you because we all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. We all make mistakes.
Lester didn't make a mistake about that though, because
no, the only thing about that is the mistake that I made was spending the hours that I spent locating old footage to include to back up my story of how legendary some of these babies around here are, how legendary, because that took some time to locate and find all that stuff.
They all
But
have really neat stories, and I think that's one thing that happens in, our days, our day to day, and the things that we're videoing. We're wanting to give real time pieces of what's happening and who's who, and to some people who watch, some of those animals are they just have a name,
yeah,
but they don't know their
you don't know the story.
origin and the roots and how far that they've come to get to where they are. And I think that it's a good thing for us to have reminders every once in a while. And I thought about this as well, that it's been a year since Journey passed away, and there are many people probably watching that don't know even who Journey was. So
That
I want to go back and make a collection video about Journey, because she's a huge part of who we are. And there were so many lessons that came from that goat specifically that are lifelong lessons, and her story just needs to be told. And that's what I thought about as I was watching your video, because I'll be honest, I didn't know that you had created that until I misscheduled it.
yeah, you're like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
But there are so many stories amongst these animals here who have made us and brought you all to be part of us, that they're too good to not be retold, and to send little reminders of, look who's here today and how far that they've come and what they've gone through to be able to get to this point. So, and some of those babies, just like Journey, are no longer with us, but they were big and impactful, and their stories are meaningful, and there are people who are living very similar things just like them that could use a little inspiration. So I'm going to go back and make a video as a reminder of Journey, but I think that also has prompted me to really want to try to make sure that the animals that are here, that their stories get told and retold, and that we never forget of how far that they've come. Pig Trudy. I like that. Little Pig Trudy is something else. Like, we talked the other day about pigs, and about Bree posted a little video clip of Pig Trudy and how she started as a little house pig and then became what she is now. I used to be terrified of pigs. And the one that I was the most I was terrified of is Pig Trudy. And she might have weighed 2 pounds at that point in time. I used to put my feet up in our rocking chair whenever we were having coffee because I was scared she was going to bite my toes off of my body. But now I will get out there. I spray her down every single day. I feed her by hand. I love on her tummy. And I know that if I was stuck in something with Pig Trudy, that Pig Trudy is smart enough to help me. And that's crazy to think about, that you know your animal well enough to know their strengths, their weaknesses, and what they would do for you in a circumstance that, was leading to harm. And that's amazing.
No, they're very intuitive. And Pig Trudy, and we've had a lot of pigs over the course of not just I'm a Survivor, but just through the course of Lester and Jamie. And we try to give our pigs a good life, but I'll tell you what, we've loved them all, but we've never had any pig that I don't want to say love, but as smart and as with such personality as Pig Trudy.
Like, there's a connection there that she can read us and read other people without actions truly happening. And that's rare. And I will say that there are a few animals that we have that are like that. Annie is one of them.
Yeah.
I would even venture to, I think Dixie's one of them, at least to me. Maggie is one of them. But not every animal has that. Just like not every person has that. But it's an amazing experience.
I went ahead. There's a couple of things that I've kind of I highlighted on through the screen, but I haven't had time to talk about all of them. A lot of folks want to know about your birthday, so we will come back to the birthday if you don't mind.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if I've played that video on all platforms. So
I don't think you have.
So that makes me kind of afraid to talk about the whole birthday, because some folks haven't had a chance to see the birthday video yet. But I will talk about this over here. This is what inspires me the most to continue working and making videos. Even if not everyone doesn't get the same thing from a video, just to know that there's people that are going through a hard time And there's folks that will they're not ashamed to admit that it was a video or your videos or an animal that inspired them or gave them the drive to persevere through a really hard time. And so that right there gives us, that puts pressure on us to make sure that we don't get lax in our job of providing what you need, because we also get a lot of therapy from these babies. And so we're blessed to be here and live here with them and amongst them. And we see so many things that help us in our lives. And so we've made it kind of a mission of ours to be able to pay that blessing forward through our videos. And so for Journey, LE, that's my older son, he made a video once when we had first gotten Journey. And he says, guys, he goes, this goat's going to change a lot of people's lives. And at the time, I didn't really know what he meant by that. I think it went in one ear, out the other. And we had an incredible, was it 6 months or 4 months with Journey?
I think 6.
We had an incredible journey with Journey. And we did end up eventually losing her to her ailments. Mm-hmm. To her ailments. But I'll tell you what, there were a lot of people, y'all, who were inspired by a little goat who had the tenacity to wake up every day and say, I'm not going to lay around and be no little bitch. I'm going to get up and get to work and get through this day. And Journey found a way to get up despite all of her conditions and get out there and do her job, which was pretty much babysitting Chip, Roxy, and Sissy,
Yeah.
and trying to keep them.
And Pig Newton. Don't forget
Pig
Pig
Newton. And she would sit there like a little lady. I don't know if you remember this, but she'd sit down on the tractor and she'd cross her legs.
On the brush hog.
She'd sit on the bush hog of our tractor and sit there and watch these little goats play. And that little pig, they would jump all around her. And every once in a while, she'd get down and she'd hobble over to them and see what they're up to. And she taught them how to scream because she could scream, and she taught all of them how to scream. And so now if you go anywhere around those 3 little goats, which are over at Longhorn Lessons right now, and when they see me, if they're kind of hungry, they don't just do your typical meh, the way a goat would do, or walk towards the fence so that you get their attention. They sit there and scream. They scream at the top of their lungs because Journey taught them how to do that to get attention. Because yeah. She would scream, we'd come running because it's Journey. Oh my God, what's wrong with Journey? And so Journey was probably the hardest to lose.
Yeah.
Because every day with her was a miracle, watching a miracle happen. And from the day that she arrived, we did not know what we were getting ourselves into.
Oh my God, no. I think I cried more tears. Well, I cried tears when she got here and when she left, but I slept in the barn.
Think about the amount of tears of happiness that we shed.
Yeah.
On any given day, just seeing her do things. So Journey helped this lady, Regina, survive through her breast cancer. And Regina, I have no idea. I can't put into words what you've gone through with that. And so many other folks have gone through different and maybe similar experiences with health issues. But I'm blessed that we were able to give you Journey. And Journey was able to give you hope. And hope was able to give you life. You're up.
Nope.
You're up, baby. I'm taking me a little break. I'm going to tilt my hat down and just...
I don't get to have a hat, okay? I'm reading all the comments about Journey's impact, and it's powerful. That's all I'll say. And we always say we're so blessed to be living this life. And there are days where we question, like, we don't deserve these animals. But we're so thankful that we get to be a part of their days and their lives, and to be able to share their impact. And
we've lost a lot of babies. It sounds like we're horrible people. Man, we lost a lot of babies. But when you walk around our memorial garden and you just look at the number of babies who, we've lost over the years, some to predators, some to sickness, some to accidents.
when you have as many animals as we do, and the condition that they come into us. So don't forget that we don't have the healthiest of crew. You know, a lot of them come to us because they're needing help, because they got in bad shape, or they needed rescued from their situation. And some of them are abandoned, some of them are abused, neglected.
So they've already had a pretty rough go as it is. So all we can really do is try to give them their best life possible. And we make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. We make mistakes, but we try, y'all. That's what we do. That's what we do is try. We just take every animal on an individual basis and try to figure out what might be best for that particular animal. We call them animals, and that sounds like I'm using a derogatory word because they're our babies.
No, they're our babies.
But we try to give each of our babies their very best life. And I can't think of a one of them that is worse off now than when we were able to, acquire it. Most of the animals come to us through a surrender, an owner who couldn't take care of it for some various reason. But they've all had their fair share of, they've had a rough life. And so when they come here, we're blessed to be able to be a part of their lives. Sometimes not for very long, but I have to move on from this, Jamie, because this is not. I got to find a comment that I can read, that I can catch.
Well, we can circle back to the birthdays. We don't have to.
Let's do birthdays. Yeah, we actually have. We went ahead and backed up a little bit and made ourselves a list, because there for a while we were finding ourselves having the entire live based off of questions. And then the problem with that is when you start seeing the same questions pop up later that you've already answered, it's because people are coming on at different times. Yeah. So I says, Jamie, we gotta have to learn that we can occasionally pull something from here, but we can't base our entire live around what's happening here, because number one, we can't catch them fast enough. And that's always been a problem.
We can't read fast enough.
So we jotted down some notes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go wash my face.
You're leaving me alone? I don't get a hat. So I turned 40 last week, and Lester surprised me with a few things. One of them being the hillbilly hot tub, which was an experience by far, and honestly, it's outstanding. We have made it a point to spend a few evenings over there, and instead of Lester doing the work during the day and then finishing up and then coming back home to do chores, we sort of reversed it so that I could be over there, and then after we get done doing chores, to sit in our little hot tub out there. The water gets plenty warm, and it has been awesome. I did not, I've never experienced one before, so I didn't know what to expect or how it was going to work out, but I love it. And it was an awesome birthday.
So Sally asked a really good question, because you all know that for the last 4 years, this is the 5th year that Jamie and I celebrated a birthday together. And so for the last 4 years, a part of what I would gift Jamie would be a brand new rescue of a farm animal rescue. And those were Annie Alpaca, that was year 1. And then Bucky's was year 2. Cornholio was year 3. And then last year, I tried to sneak Lola in. That was a little bit premature, and so that didn't work. But I did bring in
a little bit inward.
That was Janky Jan and Marcia, which was Cornholio's partners. This year, you want to talk about why we did not do an animal rescue this year?
We've talked a lot about drought, and we've talked a lot about the heat, and we felt that we were not in a situation to add another animal to either place, because we don't know what the food situation is going to be, and taking on another animal at this time didn't feel like the responsible thing to do.
Our grass is dry. There's no moisture in the grass. So the cows are in essence living like winter now with just dry grass. So we've already begun to feed hay. And if you watch any of the farm channels that we watch, this is only from Cog Hill and Arms Family, Cross Timber Bison. Guys, we're all going to be in a really bad situation come winter, because we're already struggling with finding a good food source for our animals. This is the time of year when animals should put on weight before the winter and fall, and our animals are not able to do that from because of the drought and the the lack of rain and the heat. And so we thought it would be really poor timing to bring in a rescue right now with the uncertainty. Now our babies are fine, so please don't start worrying about our babies. We'll be fine. We make ways to, we've already been out on being very proactive, and I've already found hay. I've already sent hay to my dad for his winter, when she's already feeding now as well. We are already feeding hay. And so we're just got our fingers crossed that at some point before it's too late, we'll get some rain and we'll be able to get a decent hay crop, because our first cutting only gave us 28 rolls and we've already fed about half of that. But I did buy some hay from a friend up the road. And so we're just got our fingers crossed, because if we don't get hay, and then of course if other states around us don't get hay, then I don't know what the winter is going to look like. We're going to be fine. So don't worry about our babies, but you could worry about just in general.
I was going to say, I think that this is bigger than us. And while we will make sure that we take care of us and to pay anything forward that we can, this is not just our area. This is the entire state of Texas. That really much of the country is in this situation. And it's critical, and it's going to be hard on a lot of people. It already is hard on a lot of people. The price of grain has gone up already because of the price of diesel and because of just what's going on in the United States. And I also think that there may be a point where we do take in more rescues, but it's because there will be so many without options. And I think that taking one in for a birthday scenario right now was not responsible, because we don't know what the future holds and what we may need to do to be able to help.
And I mean, even here, we're having to shift our babies around, doing things we weren't going to do because of the uncertainty and things that we caught us by surprise.
Yeah.
We haven't taken Sue to Oklahoma because I think they have it as bad, if not worse, than what we do. And, whereas we have a way to accommodate Sue and her particular ostrich needs, I don't know if she would have what she needs to survive in Oklahoma right now. And so we would be foolish to send Sue off to the Arms family when they don't have any grass either. And so we have to accommodate, and we're making that happen, but it's not easy. But I was watching Cross Timber Bison a little while ago, and guys, I saw someone say, wait, I thought y'all got rain this week. We got a 1/4 of an inch of rain this week. But here's the problem. The grass is dead. So if the grass is already dead, just by getting a rain on top of dead grass, it's not going to have that grass come back alive necessarily.
It needs to rain, and rain some more, and rain some more, and then probably even be reseeded. But it's burnt. Everything is burnt, and not like Lester lit it on fire burnt. Like
the sun burnt. And so a rain can kind of cool us off, but we're feet, plural. We are feet below where we should be with our rainfall right now.
Where our pond usually comes to where it is now, in some spaces is 20 feet. So it is bad, really bad.
I mean, the river, it's especially weird when you go down to the river. We live here on the San Jacinto River, and you go to the riverbank, and you can see where the water line should be, and you can count how many feet low the river it trickles in places, and that's a major river. And I don't know how it can water can run so thin. But this is all sounds so doomsday-ish. But we did not get a rescue this year because of the uncertainty. We try to make it up to Jamie in other ways and through experiences and neat things, and we'll talk more about all that. I don't want to go into the second part of her birthday, because even though some of y'all have seen that video, not everyone has.
I'll talk about it on my Timeout Tuesday.
Okay, it'll be coming up on Jamie's Timeout Tuesday. And then we also want to talk about Bree's goats. We wrote down talking about Brianne's goats, because by now, those of you who follow, thank you all for the support today. We have a really large audience, Jamie. We haven't had this large of an audience in a long time. And doesn't that sound weird that you have 10,000 people who want to come watch you? Why? What's going on with y'all? What is so miserable in your life to have so many folks want to hang out with us? That is like surreal to me. I'm thinking, why? Like, why? But thank you. Brienne is my niece. That's Uncle Dan, who's really my brother, daughter, which is really his daughter, and which is my niece.
You just made that way more complicated than
on
you had
purpose,
to.
on purpose, on purpose. I did that with the purpose in mind.
Next thing you're gonna like, and she's married to someone who's not my niece or my nephew.
Jamie, it's called purpose and intent, and it's like, organic humor, Jamie. It's organic humor, and I'm known for that. That's what I've been told. I have organic humor, and that's a rarity, and I have it. So
it must come from your tic-tac-toe.
Anyway, Brienne, who is my niece, who you all know that she has been the caretaker of 3 beautiful goats in Elfie, Pickles, and Beth. Her goats have also succumbed to the heat, and she lost her beloved Beth this past week. And so she's decided to also take her goats over and join ours just through the remainder of the summer over at Longhorn Lester's. And I did make a Longhorn Lester video that is not posted yet, but Jamie and I took the goats for a nature walk. And it was really cute seeing Elfie and Pickles, even with his little physical handicaps or his disabilities, able to make his way along with all of our goats through the brush and the terrain at Longhorn Lester's, along the hills and the valleys and the creeks, and watching them truly live a really neat experience. In just everywhere they looked, it was things to eat, because you guys know that goats eat pretty much anything, and they're living their best life right now. So we appreciate Bree having the heart to do that, because that can't be easy. You take your babies and you have to do the right thing for your children sometimes, and I think that Bree realized that that was the best thing for her babies. And so that had to be hard for her to do. I can't imagine how hard it was her dropping them off and then leaving them a few hours later.
It's like camp. It's like bringing your kid to summer camp.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it'd be kind of like that. But it's just temporary. But they're doing great, guys. They're doing great.
They found themselves so much green stuff to eat today. And there's a video, of course, coming out about all of this. But there are a few big animals that followed us in as well. And it was a really neat morning today. So excited to bring that to y'all as well.
Pickles is a trooper. I mean, a whole lot like Journey in a way. Now, I think he gets around a little bit easier than what Journey did, obviously. But he's right there with everybody. And he's doing great over at Longhorn Lester's. Something else that we jotted down, and I'm trying to jump to it pretty fast because it's almost 4 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
And if y'all don't know this, at 4 o'clock, our Predator video comes out on Longhorn Lester's channel. No, I'm a Survivor YouTube.
Oh, I'm like.
We had a Predator here yesterday, and that video comes out in about 3 or 4 minutes on YouTube. But before we get there, guys, our videos are, in fact, out of order. They're out of order, and here's why they're out of order. Sometimes things happen that take precedent over things we've already recorded. So whenever something big happens, what's wrong, Jamie? What?
Because tell them the truth. It's because you can't wait to share when big things happen, because whether it's exciting or crazy or anything big, it's like Lester and a birthday gift. He can't wait. He can't wait.
That's not true. That's not true. Listen, there's too many people that make videos with our animals.
That is true.
And so the day that I took the goats, for example, over to Longhorn Lester's, I already had 2 or 3 videos set to play before that day happened. But if I had waited 2 or 3 days, Jake or Brienne or you or Ellie or anyone could have come over here and made a video to post the same day.
That's true.
And you'd all be like, wait, where are the goats at? So what I had to do was, there are certain life events that have to jump order.
It's true.
And so that event was big for us. Taking those goats over to Longhorn Lester's was a big day for us. And so they had to jump order. You had to know what was happening in closer to real time.
It's true.
And so that means that, yes, all of the goats right now are over at Longhorn Lester's, yet you may see a video that still shows some goats here. And just know that we had to throw things out of order a little bit to make sure that the most important things happening around the sanctuary or around the ranch are brought to you as close to real time as possible. So another example is you asked about Gracie. People are asking about Gracie because Jamie's video talked about how Gracie's not doing real well. And so Jamie has made a follow-up video that Gracie's fine now, but she'll have to take that video and jump it forward, because if we let it go for a week when it's scheduled, then you're all going to be thinking for an entire week that Gracie's on her deathbed. And that's not the case at all.
It's not. No, she's doing better. And my video wasn't just staring at Gracie. I put it in some other, other pieces, because most of my recordings happen on the weekends, because during the week I'm working all day. Then I'm trying to, keep up with adulting. I'm also trying to keep up with the business, helping out on the farm, helping out on the ranch, just trying to, sustain all of the things and make sure that everybody's okay, all across the board, that everybody's okay. So most of my videos are recorded on the weekend, and then they play for the rest of the week. And there are a lot of people who will come up and say, this is out of order. We already knew these things or whatever. Can you just roll with it? You just roll with it and just know that each video that we make really is standalone. It doesn't require you to watch anything before, because we'll bring you up to speed on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
In every single thing.
Yeah, I'm going to rephrase that if I can. You said every video that we make is standalone. So that's kind of a school term. And me being the former teacher for 25 years, Jamie, guys, everyone knows that when you create a story, please don't make that face at me. You're going to embarrass me. I'm not trying to be a teacher here. But when you create, you know what? Forget about it. Our videos don't have to come in order.
They're not a Netflix series.
They're not a series, but we're not. So it might be kind of a
sitcom.
But every video is standalone. There's going to be a conflict or some kind of a problem that has to be solved in every single video. And so just know they're going to be out of order, but that should not ruin the video for you. I get it, how you want to stay in the exact order, and we try to do that the best that we can. But sometimes for folks who use both platforms, Facebook and YouTube, that's never going to be easy, because they're going to have to be in different orders. You can't post the same video on the same day. That no one would ever do that in social media. So we have to stagger our days. So I got to talk about this.
I'm just reading.
I'm just going to shake my head. No, I'm just going to say, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's time to pick and choose, folks. It's time to pick and choose. And so I don't know what time DJ starts her video. She and I have never conferred to find out and set our schedules with each other.
Oh my God, like 800 people left.
800 people, you better go over to I'm a Survivor YouTube and watch our Predator, because there's not a better video on the internet today. No matter what DJ might say to you all, if you don't go to I'm a Survivor YouTube and look at the Predator that we had to capture yesterday, you're missing out. But if you have to go watch DJ, because it's DJ, that's Daniel's wife, DJ, I can't miss DJ, Lester, then you know what? It'll always be there later today. You don't have to be the first one to watch it.
You can watch it when you take a bath.
You can watch it when you bathe. That's the same thing that I do. And if you shower, then put that phone up on the shower thing right there, and you can shower away. Turn the volume up nice and high, or put on captions. But if you use the closed captioning with the little words, just know that I speak in a Texan accent. And so most of my words are not going to come out the way I say them.
All I can think is,
I promise you that
some of these women are going to be in their shower and their videos be playing, and their husbands are going to be out in the living room hearing another man's voice in the shower, and it's going to cause all kinds of problems. And it's just, don't worry.
No, you say, oh, it's just Lester.
Yeah, it's just Lester in the
That's
shower.
old Lester. That's just Lester, and their husband will be fine. It's always, oh, it's just Lester. It ain't no threat. That guy takes testosterone pellets up his butt. So fine. It's just Lester. He's on testosterone pellets. Don't worry about him. Boosum. Someone's talking about the boosum, Jamie.
Oh my God.
Jamie gave me the hardest time about that. Where'd that comment go?
Listen, I hear him editing this video and I'm like, what's boosum? What is that?
First of all, I never in my life have said the word boosum, but I tried to do it for the kids who may be listening, because sometimes kids are watching, and I didn't want to say what I would normally say. If you got a nice set of beeps, No, I didn't say that. So I said the bosom. Anyway. Huh?
It was bosom is not how you say it. It's bosom.
Well, how would you spell that then, Jamie?
There probably isn't two O's like you have pronounced it like.
Anywho, all right. Thank you. I'm going to end with this over here. Arms family comes after ISS and Longhorn Lester. Sorry, DJ. LOL. High five me on that one.
She's going to see
Leslie, you are my favorite person right now. Leslie, I wish there was a picture of you besides just a letter L right there, but you're a YouTube viewer and you say Arms family can wait. I'm watching I'm a Survivor and Longhorn Lester's. Sorry, DJ. And we're going to end it on that right there, Jamie.
Oh
just end it right there, Jamie. Just end it right there on a high note. Don't even look at the next one, Jamie. End it on a high note.
Y'all.
We love you, DJ and Arms family, but come on, y'all. We had a predator, a real predator, and I almost lost my fingers and half my face. There. That's what you're going to go. That's what you have to look forward to. Lester almost lost his fingers and his face, and Pig Trudy was our hero, or our heroine.
Oh my God,
female.
your pronunciations.
The females.
Heroine, Morrow, heroine.
Okay, she was that. Anyway, that's all. Let's end it on that. Right now, guys, go to YouTube. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary and check out the predator that was lurking here at I'm a Survivor. Don't worry, I took care of it.
Y'all, have a great week. I will see you on Tuesday for Timeout Tuesday. Thanks for loving us, allowing us into your homes and phones, and apparently your shower too. So have a good day.
It's just Lester, honey. He's harmless. He's harmless. He's in the friend zone. And sorry about that 5 o'clock thing. I will make sure I schedule my own videos from here on out.